Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Food Plot Chronicles. One of the most important steps in making a pizza pie north of 9 on the Barstool pizza review scale is you gotta work that dough. You gotta massage it. You gotta put some love into it. And it's no different with food plots. We have to massage and love and fluff and work that soil. Tag and Brag Nation, what is up? It's that beautiful time of year. Dr. Food Plot is back. Or so I call myself that. I really don't know diddly squat. But it's time. It is time. It's the end of May. I'm getting the new disc hooked up here. I already tested this bad boy out a little bit. It cuts pretty dang good. We got an old one right there. It's gonna be scrapped. It's just all bent up. All the blades on the left side there fell off, hitting too many rocks. But this one's got the notch discs. It cuts a lot better, but right now, the way it was set on the lowest setting, the most forgiving setting, I should say, I'm gonna slide it up a little bit, at least to match the front one, so that the back cuts a little bit harder. And then I'm gonna start turning some dirt. Food Plot Chronicles is underway. Might have our buddy Ryan coming up next week to help us and use his no-till drill, even though I'm gonna be tilling a little bit of our food plots. I just wanna level the ground out. Most people wanna keep the moisture in their soil, so that's why you wouldn't till. But where we are in this valley, our plots get so wet, it actually benefits us to till. I feel as though it dries everything out a little bit better. It fluffs everything up a little bit. It gets that under layer, some breathing room to dry out a little bit, and we need every bit of that every year. So I'm gonna disc some of our plots and just get prepared for the next 7 days. We're gonna start planting. Food Plot Chronicles is underway, folks. I'm actually glad I'm doing this. We got a lot of rain on Saturday. It's now Tuesday, and I'm trying to get stuff planted in the next week, but we just get a lot of rain here in general. We're right off Lake Erie. We get a lot of lake effects. We just get a lot of weather here. So it's rare for us to get 7 to 10 day stretches of sun. It's rare. You usually get 2, 3, and then a rain, or you get 7 days straight of rain. So it's very hard for things to dry out. So some of the stuff was really tough to go through because it's wet. But what I'm doing is it's fluffing up and turning over this wet, mucky soil, and it's gonna allow it to dry out. When we get a nice breezy, sunny day like this, 72 degrees, we got a nice breeze, all sun. It's gonna be like this for the next 2 or 3 days, which is awesome. It'll dry this stuff out really good. And then I'll be able to hit it again with the disc, and then that should create that fine dirt. So that's my plan anyway. And you can see what happens when you disc in a super wet field. You get everything, it actually didn't, well, yeah it did. You get everything sticking to the disc, plugs up pretty good. So I always carry some kind of pick or an axe in the bucket to be able to get out and chip this stuff away. Get it off the disc. Most of it falls off pretty good, but when you get it clogged up like that, it takes some effort to get it out. Well, as I'm continuing to disc this particular section here, we usually put borderline. I think we're going to try corn this year, and the reason being is that sorghum, with how heavy the snow we get here, it knocks down with the snow. So corn is a lot tougher, a lot stronger, so we're going to try to do that. I am going to run through while the evening is setting upon us, and I'm going to burn this. Tough to do it with one person, but I'm just going to do it small sections at a time, and it'll till super nice, super fertile, and at the same time it will kill this grass, especially if this fire gets hot enough as it's backing, which it will. So it'll kill most of the weeds in here, and then I don't have to spray it again. It should be ready to roll. You can see it's already doing it, just torching this stuff. It's working perfect right now. So I'm just going to take the next 45 minutes, and I'm going to work sections at a time and get this stuff burnt, and this should be very nice and prepared dirt. I got this narrow strip up in here that I'm going to burn, and I just rototilled right around the whole thing, perimeter rototill around it. That's my fire break, so I really have nothing to worry about at this point. There's not a big enough breeze for the fire to hop over. There's not enough fuel in this field for it to hop over. Light the whole backside, and then I'll come do the front side, and hopefully in about 15 minutes this thing should be black. I got some of these ribosomes. Is that the way to say it? I think that's the way to say it. Miscanthus. It's a root that you dig down about 4 inches and plant it, and then you'll get regrowth for, I don't know, hopefully the next 5, 6, 7 years. This is a wall. It's a berm up against the road. We're trying to block off our food, just our property in general, from the road, because up in New York especially, you just get a lot of road pressure. A lot of guys drive around, they look at deer, which is cool. And we got a blind right here, so the deer are pressured up here in New York from the road, because you can spotlight deer, you can pressure them from the road. So we're trying to take some of the pressure off of them. We'll be hunting in this blind. There'll be 10 deer out in this food plot. Someone will stop alongside the road, and it clears the field out, and you really have no chance of shooting a mature deer, at least when that happens. And it happens time and time again. We try to plant some of the borderline right here, but like I said, I'm just trying to save some work in the future so we don't have to till this wall up. You know, it's at a little bit of an angle. We're still gonna plant the borderline on the lower side of it, but I got 200 of these root systems from the Miscanthus, and I'm just gonna go along and dig a bunch of holes and start planting them in there, and cover them up with soil, and hopefully we get some growth out of them. Not expecting a massive growth this year, but hopefully next year, you know, we get 8, 10, 12 feet of them, and they just start getting thicker and thicker, and eventually we'll have full coverage, full blockage from this road here. This isn't a food plot, but this is part of the process to benefit our food plot. The soil is ready. We've loved it, we've fluffed it, we've massaged it, we've turned it. And now the stage is set to put the seed in the ground.